lot of people are saying, well, it's being cut. I'm hearing the Center for Education says that's not necessarily the case. Is that right?
I do appreciate the opportunity to clarify for families, because I know literacy is really important. What I would like people to understand is that we are increasing resources for literacy for next year. And in fact, what we're thinking about and working on is what is the intersection of high quality instruction with intervention and with coaching. So we will be providing the same number of supports for literacy and mathematics next year.
But some of them would be going to different schools, is that right? Reallocation, is that a fair way to put that?
Absolutely. So spring in Nova Scotia, as you know, is very busy. So we're in the staffing and budgeting process. It's a process that we've just brought principals in on as far as decision making, and we will continue right through to the end of September. So at this point in the year, principals would be giving teachers their notices of assignment. So some staff who may have been getting specific allocations for early literacy support work won't have that next year. So I think that's created a question about, will there be early literacy support, or will there be literacy support for children for next year? And I would like to assure families that in fact there will be. We will continue to provide the same number of full-time equivalent positions in the areas of literacy and mathematics next year as we currently are this year, thinking about what's the connection between high quality instruction, between intervention, and sustainability for student success. So,
are you looking at any different programs? I'm hearing you say literacy is important, so is that particular part of education expanding in any way, or are you looking at alternate programs? I'm actually a terrible person to do this story. I don't have kids, so ELS was a term I had to learn, but I know for a lot of people, it makes sense. Are there other programs maybe that might be expanded as ELS is reduced in some schools and increased in others, or is that on the table right now?
it's interesting that you asked about growing in our board, because in fact our board is growing. So year over year, we make these kinds of decisions at this point in the year regularly. That's what we would call our staffing process. And the support for literacy begins with high quality instruction in class. So I wouldn't want people to think about literacy support external to high quality instruction.
Right.
We have great teachers who spend their time supporting children with literacy. So that's the basis. Whenever families have questions about how is my child being supported with literacy, we would like them to connect with their classroom teacher. We would like them to connect with schools to make sure that the kinds of things that we're doing are actually having the impact that we intend them to have. So in fact, we do have an expansion with reading recovery. So as we expand reading recovery, what opportunities complement that? For example, we intend to invest more in literacy coaches next year. We consulted with principals throughout the winter several times. Feedback was coaching is something that's making a great impact for students and teachers in classrooms. So first wave instruction counts on experts to help make sure that we're strengthening that. So that's the role of coaches in a comprehensive literacy plan.
Have I missed anything? Is there anything you want to add?
I think you've got it. If you get some of that in there, I think it will be good.
Just like that. Stay where you are, please. Gonna get a quick shot of the two of us chatting, and that's it. It's just that easy. Great job.
Thank you. The truth is easy to say.
Yeah, no,
I don't have to remember.
But I do know, like, this sort of turned into kind of a political story, as you may or may not be aware, throughout the week. The timing for the education department was just sort of bad for all of this, because of course they did the big inclusion announcement last week. It was a big to-do, and then all of a sudden teachers are calling us and calling the union and saying, oh, well, they're cutting hours here like crazy. So politically it sort of turned into that kind of stuff.
Of course.
Yeah.
And in reality, what we have now is all of the big ideas about what we will be doing next year are starting in stages to make their way through the system.
Right.
So we're having people thinking about this is it, as opposed to thinking about, okay, this is the start.
Right.
So that's what, we have more work to do with staff to talk about. No, this isn't the final process.
Right.
It's actually the beginning.
The beginning of it.
And often, you would know, people take the first thought and think, well, that's all it's going to be. And we're excited about the plans we